The thing that makes you different might be the thing you keep refusing to talk about. And not because it's bad, because it feels too normal to you. You say, that's just what I do. Everybody knows that. That story is not interesting. But what feels ordinary to you may be exactly what the right person has been waiting to find. And my first live Marquee room reminded me of that in a real way. I watch capable people describe something important about themselves and then immediately make it smaller. And today I want to talk about why we do that, what we miss when we do, and how to start finding the thing that may be your $2 bill. Now, we live inside our own experience. We know what we know. We solve problems the way we solve them. We ask the questions we naturally ask. And because we've been doing it for a long time, it starts to feel normal. Now that's the trap. The thing you have practiced for years may feel easy to you. But easy does not mean unimportant. It may mean you built a muscle other people do not have. Maybe you hear the real question underneath what somebody says. Maybe you can see the pattern before other people see it. Maybe you make a difficult thing feel simple. Maybe you make people safe enough to tell the truth. And because you do it naturally, you assume everyone can do it. I'm telling you, they cannot. That is why we need a little distance from our own story. So in my live room, I kept hearing people tell a story and then apologize for it before anyone else could hear it. They would say, it was nothing. They would say, everyone already knew it. They would say, they were not sure it mattered. But when we stayed with the story for another minute, the pattern started to show itself. There was usually a belief underneath it. There was a way they saw the world because of what they had lived. There was a question they asked that other people did not ask. There was a reason they cared more deeply about a problem. That is not nothing. That, my friends, is raw material. You do not need to turn every hard thing in your life into content, but some of what you have lived has given you a lens. And that lens can become very valuable when you learn how to name it. The $2 bill is not about being strange for the sake of being strange or unique or different. It's not a gimmick. The $2 bill is a reminder. Most things move through our hands without making us stop. But when somebody hands you a $2 bill, what do? You pause. You look at it. You remember it. Not because a $2 bill is louder, bigger. The $100 bill has something to say about that. But because it's different. And it's different in a way you can see. Your work needs that kind of difference. Not fake, not made up, not a new costume. A real difference that comes from what you have lived, what you believe, and how you help people move forward. You do not invent that in a branding meeting. You uncover it by paying attention to what has been there all along. Let me tell you about 4 places to look for it. First, what do people naturally ask you for help with? This isn't what you advertise. What do they bring to you when they trust you? Second, what problem do you solve in a way that feels obvious to you? What's the move you make before other people make their move? Third, what lesson did you learn the hard way? Again, not every hard thing belongs on the internet, but some experiences give you a truth that can help another person. And fourth, what do people say after talking with you? Do they say, I never thought about it that way? Do they say, you put words to something I could not explain? Do they say, I feel clearer now? All of those are clues. Now, they're not the whole answer, but they are worth following. So let me ask you this. Take out a notebook and write down 3 things you do so naturally that you almost never mention them. Not your job title, the thing underneath the title. Maybe you help people tell the truth. Maybe you make decisions feel less scary. Maybe you turn confusion into a plan. Maybe you find the human part of a business problem. Maybe you see possibility before someone else can see it. And next to each one, write this question: why do I do this differently? It's not about a credential, okay? You got to answer with an experience, maybe a belief, or a pattern you have seen. Then ask one person you trust what they notice you do that you might not notice yourself. Let someone else hold up the mirror to you. Inside the Marquee, we look for the thing people have been overlooking in themselves. We give it language, we connect it to the people it can help, and we build a message that does not sound borrowed. You do not need to become somebody else to stand out. You may need to see the thing that has been there all along. And if you're ready to find your $2 bill, join the waitlist for the next live Marquee at marquee.bradholzman, that's HOLCMAN.com. Don't be the best. Be the only. Be the $2 bill.